Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, grabbing your phone, scrolling through birthday notifications, and suddenly realizing you are 30 years old. Not just 30 in number, but 30 with a quiet, uncomfortable awareness that a large portion of those years slipped through your fingers. Late nights spent gaming until sunrise, endless arguments with strangers online, hours carefully curating a life that only existed on social media. That realization does not feel dramatic. It feels heavy. It feels like a silent punch to the chest. But before you panic, understand this. If you are hearing these words now, you are already ahead. Some people do not wake up to these truths until much later. What took years of trial, error, and painful self-reflection to understand can be distilled into lessons you can apply today. Would you consider this your shortcut, not to success, but away from unnecessary suffering? The first lesson is simple but transformative. Your life reflects your dominant thoughts. If every morning you tell yourself you are not talented enough, not smart enough, not disciplined enough, your brain will search for evidence to confirm that belief. You fail once and think, I knew it. You receive criticism and interpret it as proof of your inadequacy. The mind works like a filter. Wear gray lenses and everything looks bleak. But when you adopt the belief that you can improve, that skills can be learned, that growth is possible, your perception shifts. Challenges become training. Failure becomes feedback. Positive thinking does not mean blind optimism or fake smiles. It means choosing to believe you are capable of becoming better than you were yesterday. Change your internal narrative and your external reality begins to follow. The second lesson is harder to accept. No one is coming to rescue you. For a long time, many of us secretly wait for a mentor to appear, for the perfect opportunity to knock on the door, for someone to recognize our hidden potential and elevate us. Life is not a superhero movie. There is no dramatic entrance, no sudden savior. The only person who will carry you from where you are to where you want to be is you. The moment you accept full responsibility for your life is the moment you reclaim power. If you want new skills, you must seek them. If you want a better career, you must pursue it. Blaming circumstances may feel comforting, but it keeps you passive. Now, ownership feels heavy at first, but it is liberating. When you understand that you are the chief executive of your own life, excuses lose their grip. Another lesson that separates dreamers from achievers is the difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation feels amazing. It surges through you after watching an inspiring video or reading a powerful quote. But motivation is inconsistent. It appears and disappears without warning. Discipline, on the other hand, is quiet and reliable. It shows up on the days you feel tired, bored, or uninspired. It pushes you to sit at your desk when you would rather scroll. It gets you to the gym when you would rather stay in bed. The real test is not what you do on your best days. It is what you do on your worst days. Motivation may help you start, but discipline is what carries you across the finish line. Build systems that do not depend on how you feel in the moment. Closely connected to discipline is the power of small, consistent progress. Many people overestimate what they can accomplish in a week and underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. We crave dramatic transformation. We want overnight success, rapid physical change, instant mastery. But life operates more like compound interest than a lottery ticket. Reading a few pages every night can turn into dozens of books over time. Exercising 15 minutes a day can reshape your body and energy within a year. Improving just 1% each day does not look impressive in the short term, but over months and years it creates results that feel almost unbelievable. Success is rarely a single leap. It is a series of small steps taken consistently. Failure is another unavoidable teacher. In school, tests measure how much you have learned. In life, failure serves the same purpose. Every successful entrepreneur, artist, athlete, or leader carries a history of mistakes and setbacks. The difference is not that they avoided failure. The difference is that they extracted lessons from it. We tend to imagine success as a straight upward line, but in reality it resembles a volatile graph with rises and dips. If you fear failure so much that you avoid trying, you also avoid growth. Yes, failure is uncomfortable. It can cost you time, money, and pride, but it also sharpens your judgment, strengthens your resilience, and reveals weaknesses you can improve. Each setback asks a question. Are you willing to learn and continue? Or will you retreat and remain where you are? Your current life is largely the accumulated result of your habits. Your health, your finances, your knowledge, even your mindset are shaped by repeated behaviors. Grand breakthroughs are rare. Habits, however, operate quietly in the background every day. Two people with similar starting points can end up in dramatically different places based solely on daily routines. Small actions repeated over years shape identity. You do not need extreme changes. You need sustainable ones. A few push-ups every morning, a short walk after dinner, writing down 3 things you are grateful for before sleep, limiting screen time before bed. These small practices may seem insignificant, but they are the foundation upon which long-term success rests. Change your habits and you change your trajectory. And another powerful influence in your life is the company you keep. You become similar to the people you spend the most time with. If your social circle constantly complains, avoids responsibility, and resists growth, that mindset will slowly seep into you. If your friends prioritize learning, health, and ambition, you will naturally absorb those standards. This does not mean cutting everyone off abruptly. It means being intentional about who you allow to influence your thinking and behavior. Look at your closest circle and ask yourself whether their direction aligns with the person you want to become. Over time, your environment will either elevate you or limit you. Health deserves its own lesson because without it, every other achievement loses meaning. Youth often creates the illusion of invincibility. Late nights, poor nutrition, chronic stress, and neglect feel harmless in the moment. But the body keeps score. Years of disregard eventually demand payment in the form of fatigue, illness, and limitation. Health is not about extreme aesthetics. It is about energy, mobility, and resilience. It is about being able to work, think clearly, enjoy relationships, and pursue experiences without constant physical strain. Treat exercise, nutrition, and sleep as investments, not optional extras. Protecting your health today prevents costly consequences tomorrow. Money is another topic that requires balance. It is a powerful tool, but it is still just a tool. When money becomes the ultimate goal, satisfaction becomes elusive. The more you earn, the more you feel you need. Financial stability is important. It provides freedom and security. But money cannot replace meaningful relationships, personal growth, or inner peace. When used wisely, it can create opportunities, experiences, and impact. When worshipped blindly, it can lead to anxiety, distrust, and emptiness. View money as fuel for your journey, not the destination itself. One of the most common traps people fall into is waiting. Waiting for the perfect time, perfect conditions, perfect confidence. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. Tomorrow will not magically feel easier. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. You do not learn to swim by studying the water from the shore. You learn by stepping in, struggling, adjusting, and improving. If you want to start a project, begin small. If you want to improve your fitness, start with what you can do today. If you want to share knowledge, share what you know now. Imperfect action beats endless preparation. Progress requires movement. Ultimately, life does not offer rehearsals. There is no draft version. Each day is part of the final product. The lessons outlined here are not revolutionary. Most people have heard them in some form. The difference lies in application. Knowledge without action changes nothing. Small decisions made consistently reshape your future. One step may seem insignificant, but it can pull you out of stagnation and into momentum. If you take anything from these reflections, let it be this. Your thoughts shape your perception. Responsibility gives you power. Discipline sustains progress. Small habits compound. Failure teaches, environment influences. Health underpins everything. Money is a tool. Waiting is an illusion. And action, however imperfect, is the gateway to change. Years from now, you may look back at this moment and realize it was not dramatic or loud. It was simply the day you decided to move forward instead of standing still.